I call our things.
All right, Jimmy, how are you keeping?
Not too bad, not too bad. Everything you got the run in anyway.
I did. I survived. No mini heart attacks. All is good.
Good, good. Can you hear me perfect? Yeah.
I can hear you well, yeah.
Perfect. The Wi-Fi isn't that great down in Kerry, so just bear with me for good.
You weren't blessed with technology. You got plenty of views, though. You're all right. You'll be fine.
That's good. That's good. How are you keeping anyway? You training away in lockdown. How are you keeping the mind active?
Yeah, look, it's good, in fairness. Very different. Very different, obviously. Like, you're going from training with a group of fellas to just training basically on your own. So it has its challenges in that regards because it's very hard you're trying to find ways to keep yourself motivated, I suppose. And
Yeah.
you're looking at the unknown as well because you don't know whether you're going to be playing or not or when you're going to be playing. So it's tough in that respect. You don't have someone to run beside you maybe or to do hurling drills with you and things like that. But look, we're lucky enough. We've a good team with Tip, and like they set out a little plan for us, and we just try to stick to that as we can, and just keep tipping the body over really, just so if the call eventually came that we'd be ready really, like. So that's kind of
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah, I suppose on that point there, like the last few guys I was speaking to, we've all touched on it. That how do you keep yourself kind of motivated? That look, there's no certainty that there will be a championship this year. I suppose you just have to kind of stay focused as if there will be, but there's always probably that kind of doubt in the back of your mind.
Yeah, I suppose for me, what kind of keeps me motivated at the minute, I suppose, is the unknown. It's not knowing whether I'm going to be playing in the next couple of months or in the next couple of weeks. So, I suppose I'd rather be ready, and not have to play, or than not being ready and having to play. Like, so it's kind of the unknown. So I'd rather make sure that if the call does come, that my body is ready and I'm able to actually play. Whereas if I'm not, it'd be an absolute waste of time because lads are in such unbelievable shape at the minute, and you can be sure every single intercounty player, footballer, hurler, is doing a bit, keeping themselves right. So like it's kind of, is it worth taking the risk? And plus, look, you feel better. It's good for a mental side of things to get out and about because it is tough on people being locked down the whole time at the minute. Like, you're not really allowed to go too far away. You're not really allowed to meet anyone. So those things are very challenging for people. So I'm lucky, I suppose, to be in the position I am, that I can go out and I can do some running, I can do a bit of a gym, I can do those exercises kind of to keep my own mental health right as well, because like all those things count as well.
Yeah, exactly. And do you reckon there will be something this year, or how do you feel about that? I know that's the $1 million question, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. Look, you can, like, where everyone is speculating. So to be honest with you, I don't know personally. I think there will be, but that could be me just telling myself that just to keep myself motivated to keep going and doing a few bits, like. But look, who knows really? If I suppose we all do our bit and do what we're told by the HSE and the government,
Yeah,
please God, maybe it might be something down the line, be it behind closed doors and that. And look, to be honest, I don't really mind if it's behind closed doors. I'd rather have a championship than not have a championship, to be honest with you. And look, it'll give people something to watch on telly, even because like we all miss sport at the minute, whether it's soccer,
sure.
hurling, rugby, football, everything. Like, you'd watch. I don't like cricket, but I'd watch that right now if I could. Like.
Do you think they're that bad, or that?
Oh, they're gone bad.
Um, just I suppose on that point, like, do you reckon, like, I've came across a few articles that, do you think they'll have positive or negative effects on players? I suppose, at the moment when they're at nothing, they probably have time to think and kind of contemplate maybe retirement if they're at that stage of their career. Um, do you think this will push them over the ledge, or will it have even a positive effect on them?
I think it'll actually have both a positive and a negative effect. I think the positive side of things is you kind of get to sit back and kind of reevaluate what's really important in life. And like, sport is a massive important in everyone's life, but also your health is more important. And you get to kind of sit back and kind of spend time with your family and reconnect with your family because you're gone every day of the week. Like, you
Yeah,
don't get to sit down and see your family as much. And now kind of people are getting the opportunity, and even doing simple things like tidying up things around your house, like, just redecorating the place.
yeah,
Like, they're all massive things for people, and you don't really get the time to do anything like that. So now you kind of have that chance. I suppose the only negative really is the fact that you can't actually go out and play a match. Like, you're missing out on that sport aspect. But I suppose it's like anything, you can take the good or the bad, and you're like, there's plenty of good to find in it as well. I suppose it all depends what way you look at things yourself.
yeah, exactly. And I suppose, look, I suppose we'll bring it back to your early days. You're still young. You're about my own age,
They're
but
not that many. There's a few grey hairs. Relax, Jimmy.
um, you know, I suppose going back to your early days, you know, what made you start playing hurling? Like, is like obviously, you know, coming from Kerry now, I'm not too sure of, like, is your club a dual club, or is it, or what's the setup there?
I wouldn't say it's a dual club. We play football as well. I'd be lying if I did say there's a lot of emphasis placed on football. There's not. Now it's a pity because there's plenty of footballers in the club, but I suppose Tipperary is, I'll probably be shot for this, is probably predominantly hurling county. Now the footballers, in fairness, aren't too bad either, but it's from as far as I can remember, it's been mainly like hurling was always kind of driven. Um, like we'd be at the minute, I suppose my club is, we're very young. Senior team is very young. Like I'm probably the second or third oldest, even though, which I
Jesus.
don't think is that old, even though you said I'm old enough a few minutes ago. But so I suppose we're kind of coming at the minute. Like we've plenty of good young lads. It's just about kind of holding on to them. Like I find from minor, from between the ages of 17 and 20, 21, like you can lose an awful lot of players.
Yeah.
So it's trying to hold on to those type of lads, because there's plenty of excellent hurlers in my club. It's just kind of holding on to them and try to develop them kind of physically now. Like even the club level, the physicality now on club level is gone through the roof. Like, you know, they're training just as much as nearly
Yeah.
inter-county teams at this stage. You know, it's mad. Like
It must be very difficult for them now to, you know, I suppose, look, they're kind of on the same, you know, page as yourself, trying to, you know, try and stay focused that if there is going to be a championship, you know, or if there is going to be a club championship, to be ready, I suppose. And, you know, that's the hardest thing at the moment. I suppose just bring it back then. Look, you start off your club, and I suppose when things started kind of getting more intense was when you went to Thurles CBS. Would you say that was kind of the start of?
yeah, definitely looked. Yeah, I suppose Thurles CBS was a big stepping stone for me. I was very young doing my leaving cert, so I was only 16 when I actually sat the leaving cert. So I was still, was I hurling Dean Ryan? Yeah, I was hurling. I think it was hurling Dean Ryan in 6th year. So when I was hurling Harty, then I was only 16. So I was only finished up with, I was only going on to the minor panel, and probably what really got me onto the Tipperary minor panel was hurling Harty Cup. Like we played Arskell Reach in three replays. Like they were fantastic games. Like so that kind of gave me the exposure I suppose I needed to break through into the inter-county kind of scene, because I wasn't on the county 14s, I wasn't on the 15s. I was on the 16s, but funny enough, we have in Tip, we have a kind of divisional. So you know, we have mid, north. So we had like the mid might play the south, and the west might play the north, and then the two winners will come and play a final. So that was, I think, I can't remember what his name. I think it was called a Petter Cummins or something. I actually was playing in the forwards. I was playing corner forward for that. In the semi-final, I actually got dropped for the final. So I was playing corner forward, and then 2 months later, I started wing back for the county 16s. So I kind of made a transition from forwards to backs, and then playing the backs for the Harty then really gave me a massive leap and a step. That was a big stepping stone, really. Like that was kind of where I announced, I suppose, so I was able to kind of hurt.
Yeah.
Really.
You went on into, we say, minors. You played two years minors, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2 years minors. Yeah.
And then you played 3 years on the 21s. Would that be correct? Yeah. And I
Yeah,
suppose
correct.
onto then you kind of went straight onto the senior setup. Was it a clear transition, or was there a lot of ups and downs between minors and seniors?
Was it? No, realistically, I suppose it wasn't that clear. I heard 2 years minor. The first year, 21, I didn't start the Munster final. We got beat by Clare. So I would have took that. I would have took that fairly hard. I felt that I was good enough to start cornerback that day. So that was suppose everything was kind of going really well from under 16 up along after playing in the Harty, after making the minor team break, getting called into the 21s, and I felt I was hurling well. But then I suppose get that kind of kick back made me kind of even drive, maybe even more hungrier to drive maybe a bit forward. So the following year I came back and I was slotted in cornerback, and it went a bit smoother then, and the transition then from 21 to senior, probably maybe that kick back probably made it a bit more easier for me. It gave me maybe the nudge that I needed kind of to push on my game a small bit more. Like, yeah. So, but it definitely wouldn't have been a nice clean transition. Like I didn't like if I had played the 3 years, 21, and then stepped into the seniors, that would have been grand. But that kick back really probably moved me on a little bit.
And we would say with that setback, you know, would you have done extra training, more ball work, or was it more strength and conditioning?
No, to be honest, there definitely wasn't much strength and conditioning anyway, because tiny. Someone sent me on a picture recently of the 14 All Ireland, and like I'm probably half the size of Walter Walsh's leg. Like I'm an absolute whippet. So I don't know how I actually survived, to be honest, that year. I think it was more so mentally. I think I was even more driven after that kickback. It was more mentally. I think mentally, I think kind of sport is 90% mentality and 10% then your ability and stuff like that. Like if you were to pick between ability and maybe attitude, like you're going to pick probably attitude all day long, because if someone has a better attitude than they have ability, more than likely they'll keep going for you. They'll keep driving. They won't stop until you literally blow the whistle and say stop. Whereas someone that has all the talent in the world, they could just not turn up one of the days, So I think that was kind of the way I really developed, was kind of the mental side of things in that respect.
Is that something we say you'd work on regularly enough, the mental side of things, or is it just something it's been with you all your life naturally? You're just constantly looking at different avenues.
I suppose it's been with me. A lot of it has been with me, but I think what really I find kind of life experiences for me anyway kind of really solidified my mentality. So I suppose I would have lost my father very young at 19, so that would have been a real turning point for me mentally. Like, so I would have worried about small little things. I would have been nervous about certain things. Now those things wouldn't even faze me. Like unless it's very relevant to me in my life, it goes in 1 year out the other. Like it's not important. I suppose it made me reevaluate, like anything that kind of bad that happens. You always sit down and reevaluate what things are important and what things are you need to waste your energy on. And so when something like that occurs, especially at a young age, it definitely changed me mentally in that regards. Like I didn't care about stupid things like social media. I didn't care about what kind of other people maybe thought of me. I kind of just focused on what things I control and what things I enjoyed and the people around me. That was kind of it. Like,
Yeah, and I suppose that's that. So that you kind of say that event really kind of cemented your priorities going forward, I suppose, and
yeah, it put things massively into perspective for you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose back onto when you broke onto the county scene in 2014 is actually remarkable. Like you started and you won the Young Player of the Year that year, and you won All Star as well that year. Or was that
No, JJ's hook, I think, took it from me.
How was that to say? Albeit, look, you might have been successful that year as a team, but you did you did win. You did win an individual award. How do you feel about that? Was that some kind of icing on the cake as such, or?
I suppose it was a bit of a consolation. Obviously, look, if you ask any player that doesn't have an All Ireland medal and that has maybe 4 or 5 All Stars or something like that, they would definitely trade in every single one of those All Stars for an All Ireland medal. At the end of the day, like it's your Munster final medal and your All Ireland medal is what you want. Everything after that is a bonus. But I suppose it does ease the pain a little bit from a personal point of view, a personal level, because like I suppose it's kind of celebrating the kind of hard work you put in off the pitch and on the pitch, kind of people that people don't see, like things like that. So obviously it wouldn't say it was ice on the cake. I would have definitely replaced it for an All Ireland medal, but look, I was absolutely delighted to get something like that my first year on the panel, and it kind of it was a really good year. Like I got it given a chance, and I just took it, I suppose, really.
And were you I suppose for young fellas coming into panels like that, were you kind of phased by coming into a panel with such leaders, or did you know lads already, or how was that for you?
I would have known a few lads. So I would have known Shamey from playing with him in Fitzgibbon. I would have known Mickey Cahill. I would have known a few lads. But no, look, obviously I was definitely nervous about going in. I think any young lad going into a panel that isn't somewhere nervous or isn't a bit kind of even shy going in is kind of codding himself. And I don't know where you've no right to have an air of grace about you going into a panel, like especially with such leaders on it, like someone Kelly and them. So kind of the approach I basically adopted was I kind of looked at the players that really stand out over the last couple of years and who actually I admired. So Paddy Maher would have been a big one for me. I thought he was a phenomenal athlete, still is a phenomenal athlete, sure. And he really stood out for me. So what I kind of did was I basically kind of molded myself following him. Like, so I'd go running with Paddy in the winter. I'd go do the gym sessions with him. No matter what he was lifting, I'd try lift it. If I couldn't lift it, I couldn't lift it. But I'd try, I'd try and copy him, because he was, look, he's won 5-6 All-Stars. Like, if you're going to emulate anyone, you might as well be Paddy Maher. So I kind of pick lads like that, or lads like Owen Kelly, these type of lads, or in the back, like I was living with Michael Cahill in 2014, and that was a massive help for me, because Mickey Cahill was at the peak of his powers in those years. Like, he's one of the best cornerbacks in Ireland, and I think it was like so I was living with him, so I learned loads off him, kind of how to maybe even conduct yourself, what way to hurl in cornerback. I just learned different small little tricks and stuff from himself and Paddy Stapleton. So I suppose the approach I basically took was try emulate the way some lads are training, who to follow and things like that, and just basically try learn as much as you can. I kept my mouth shut, which you probably maybe don't know, but I kept my mouth shut and just got down to business. Like, it was really when Mick Ryan kind of said to me, we done a charity boxing. It wasn't a charity boxing event. It was kind of white collar boxing, Holy Cross versus Upper Church, and it was after the fight. And that, when all the fights were over, I was just chatting away to him. And he kind of just said to me, "I didn't call you in to make up numbers. Like, I called you in to make the bloody team. So just go and do it," kind of thing. So that was kind of, when I heard that, I kind of gave me actually loads of confidence, to be honest, because I kind of said, "Geez, maybe I have a shot here. Maybe I actually might have a chance of starting." So I just took every game as I could, learned as much as I possibly could off different lads, and just tried my best as much as I can, really.
And it definitely stood to you. Like, what I get there from chatting to you and from hearing that was, you pick players and you take different aspects from them, and you just try to, live up to that. And I suppose just on that point, you were saying you lived with Mickey Cahill. Was that when you were with LIT, or was that when you were in LIT?
No, I was finished with LIT. I was finished my first degree, so I had a year out working, and I don't know how myself and Mickey ended up living together. I think we just went living together for the summer, or for the I don't know how, I can't actually remember at the time, but we were living together for a year. So it was after my first degree, and I took a year out and went working, and then I went back to college again. So it was just in between that time.
Oh, okay.
And it was actually it kind of worked perfectly for me, because I didn't go full time working, so I didn't have that distraction of working full time, that I could actually take to step back and concentrate maybe on hurling, and concentrate on kind of making the panel. So I was very lucky, and I could pick Mickey's brain when I wanted, and try injure him maybe at different times to take his spot and stuff like that.
But when you're sleeping.
Yeah, feeding him, like, I don't know, I'd say he didn't know what was going on. He probably used to wake up with chocolate bars around his bed and everything, trying to fatten him up. It never worked though.
That time when you were at LIT, did you train under Davy, or was that?
Yeah, I trained under Davy. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that does it live up to what we hear in the media, or is it blown out?
Sure.
Like a lot of things.
It's blown out. Sure, look, the media is the media. Like, I know better than anyone. I'd have no tolerance for much of the media, really, to be honest with you. Like, Davy's an unbelievable manager, and he's a really good people's person as well. Like, I have a good relationship with Davy, and I have great respect for him, because he's done plenty of things away outside of hurling for people on a personal level that no one knows about. But the beauty about the media is they're never going to write that, like, because that's not a story. Like, no one wants to hear the good things; they only want to hear the bad things you do. So, but like he's a really passionate man, loves hurling, and really drives perfection. So, like, I'd have great admiration for Davy, and I really enjoyed hurling actually with him at LIT. Like, I wouldn't have always agreed with kind of maybe the sweeper role, because I just never really, unless I was the free man maybe. But, like, look, I thought he was a fantastic manager, and completely blown out of proportion, really, most of the media, to be honest with you.
Fair enough. And so you would say that, or would you say that Davy did have an influence on you in some degree?
Oh, definitely, yeah, definitely. I'd say what I think it was, we played, I suppose, like, it was another step. It was similar enough to the Harty Cup. Like, the Fitzgibbon hurling was another stepping stone for me, and gave me loads of exposure. Like, the amount of hurlers, that inter-county players that would have been seen and brought onto panels because they played Fitzgibbon Cup, I'd say 60-70% of them were. And I was no different, because we played UCD, up in UCD, and I remember I was marking Noel McGrath, and it was after that match that I got exposed for the Tipperary senior team. They would have obviously known about me, but probably maybe had reserves whether they'd call me in or not. And I think, so far I was told anyway, Paddy O'Neill was up at that match, and it was after that I was kind of given a green light to maybe bring this lad in. So that was another major step or so. And sure, Davy obviously gave me gave me the chance to play Fitzgibbon. So he would have been another influence in that regards.
Yeah, and then when you obviously got into the county scene, 14, as we already touched on that. Then 15 was kind of a difficult year for Tip. Lost in the semi-final to Kilkenny, I think.
Galway.
Galway was it?
Galway,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah.
Galway. And then after that, then I suppose took 16. Then you came back and won again. And then what do you remember about 16? Was it good, or how do you feel about that? I suppose that was your first All Ireland, wasn't it? Or
That was my first All Ireland, yeah. Actually, look, it was unreal. It was like your first is always going to hold a special place in your heart, because it's you basically, it feels like I finally got there, like I finally reached the summit. So it's so hard to get there. So when you finally do get there, it's just, you can always just take a deep breath and let it out, and just like, oh, thank God, and kind of fall down. But like it was a really special year, and it wasn't won in just that year. Like that All Ireland came from 14 and 15. So like the work that would have been done with Éanna O'Shea would have came the whole way through the way we wanted to hurl. And then Mick then kind of solidified a bit of steelness into us, brought in Dan McCormack and John McGrath, two real dynamic hurlers, and really brought in a different type of feel to our team, like, and really added massive amounts to us. So like it wasn't just like a 1 year that, geez, it was a great year, thank God for that year. But that year wouldn't have happened definitely only for, I suppose, the hurt in 15, losing by a pint to Galway, and then the hurt again in 14 when Bubba's missed that free that I haven't forgiven him for. I know my jokes. I know I've forgiven him for. So like there was all those things would have contributed to that year. So it was it was very special. And look, your first will always hold a certain place for you. Like, it was unreal.
And do you feel it was kind of probably not the right way to describe it, but is a weight off your shoulders, reaching the summit that time? Or
yeah, it was, I suppose, and especially in Tipperary, because whatever it is, like, we're loved and hated by the media. Like if we lose a game, it's because something happened, or like maybe you're flaky or something. Like there's always something in Tipperary. Like, so, and maybe it's probably our own fault as well. We've such high expectations of ourselves, and our supporters have high expectations of us as well. So then that when we don't win, there has to be something wrong. Like, why didn't we win? Like, because like we're probably, like, our own supporters, like most counties, Kilkenny, they expect themselves to win or get to the final every year. Tipperary the same, Cork, another successful county, get to the same. So all these counties are going to expect this. So I suppose when you do finally get there, it is like a weight off your shoulders. You finally got to the summit, because look, that is the pinnacle of your inter-county career, is winning All Ireland. So when you finally get there, and when you see so many unbelievable players, the likes of Dan Shannon and Tony Brown and these lads that never got to win All Ireland, and they're unbelievable hurlers that walk on to most county teams. So when you see the likes of them that never got to win one, like, it does make it even more. It does make it that little bit more special, because you finally got there. Yeah.
Jeez, savage. And we say then, with after that, then you have to reset and get going again. And obviously, look, there were setbacks in 17 and 18. And do you think those setbacks, helped you again to focus like other situations before, or I wouldn't say focus, but become more strong mentally?
Probably, yeah, sure. Probably, I think every experience will add something to you. So every life, as I said earlier on, I think your mentality, a lot of it is molded by your life experiences. So those couple of setbacks would have added something again to me mentally wise, and they probably improved me in different ways off the field. All right, absolutely. Whether I'd agree with them or not, like, so I suppose the way I kind of look at it, there's always pluses and negatives in every situation. So you might as well just try to find the pluses and try better yourself in that department. And look, I love not more than a challenge, and I love not more than proving people wrong. So it was almost like it was almost laying out crumbs for me, like, like I love that challenge. Like, so I was always going to, anyone that knows me would know, I was always going to bounce back stronger after something like that.
And when you eventually when you got back onto the scene then in 19, did the appointment of Liam Sheedy bring that extra pep in your step, or how? I know Liam is a fantastic guy, a fantastic manager. I had the privilege of meeting him before once for an hour, and geez, I was pumped after talking to him for an hour. I can imagine how How easy
Yeah.
after every training session?
Yeah, so look, it would have, I suppose, because it was a fresh start. And so like you see there at the minute with, excuse me, we see the likes of the minute with Clare and Cork and Waterford. They have a new voice in and they have a new pep in their step and things like that. Especially Waterford at the minute, like they're flying. They were flying just up until the pandemic. So like I suppose a new voice will always add in a bit of freshness, and then when that new voice that's coming is coming with an absolute weight of experience, having already done it, it does help. Like because well, this man has been there, he's done it. You'd be a fool not to follow it. You know, like let's follow him, see where it goes. And lucky enough, it went to the top and brought us back to where we were. So it was a massive change. It was really good, obviously for Tipping as a result.
And how did you find, we say, that year? Did you feel that you were getting better and better and momentum is starting to grow? Or
Um, I feel like it was the hardest pre-season I've done ever.
yeah,
It was very tough. Yeah, it was really tough. Like we didn't like we trained like dogs. I don't think I've ever trained as hard as that pre-season. Um, like Liam Reedy came in, and I think it's kind of a cliche saying this, but he set out his stall. But like he really did, like he really put a stamp straight away on it. This is what I expect of you, everyone individually. Like this is what I expect. Either you're with me or you're not. Like so, like the boat is going either on it or you're not, kind of thing. Which was kind of really refreshing. Like so, like you want someone that has that kind of drive as you. Like it's very similar to the players we have. Whereas if he came in and was kind of relaxed and kind of said like we'll see how it goes, you mightn't have followed. But when he's coming and telling you this is what I expect from you, it'll keep driving. And he's a massive like he is the, I said it after I learned, like he is the engine he's the engine room in our squad. Like he really does drive perfection and expects nothing less. And he's a very good facilitator, like Joe. And he like if you could easily ring him and say, look, I'm not having a great day. So I don't really feel like training, and to be no bother, that kind of thing. Like so, like those small things really help, I think, for intercounty players because look, you don't get paid. It's 7 days a week almost now.
yeah.
There's a lot goes into it. So when you get that sort of kind of backing and support from someone, it makes a massive difference. So like it was, yeah. In fairness to him, it was absolutely top class.
And I suppose that point there, you said that when you say you don't feel up to it or the body isn't feeling right, that you can sit out that training session or you can sit out half a training session or whatever the case may be.
Exactly, yeah, yeah. Like
That
he trusts you that you know your body obviously, and listen to the doctors and the physios and things like that. But it's kind of more the trust. Like he trusts that you're not just like I don't think any intercounty hurler these days would just not train just because I don't really feel like it unless there's something really wrong or you're maybe struggling with a hamstring or a quad or something, and you just don't want to go that extra 10%. And you can just easily say to him, look, I think I need to pull it back a small bit. Now that wouldn't mean you're getting out of training, like you'll be going doing something else, but at least there's that trust there between players and management that you can go and talk to them in that type of capacity and maybe change your training schedule in ways like.
to be honest, having chatting to or spoken to, we said Darren O'Sullivan yesterday, and that is a big point that you kind of see in the media that players do kind of realize or have seen that they have been maybe, they put a lot of pressure on themselves and, they might end up training a bit too much because they have that fear that if they don't train, they might lose their spot in the team. But from what you were saying, that trust is there. And when that trust is there, you're not afraid to say, look, I'm not feeling up to it tonight, or I'm not feeling up to, doing a certain run or whatever.
Hmm. Well, I suppose it wouldn't really be I'm not feeling up to it. It'd be more like I feel like something might go kind of thing.
But
But yeah, look, that trust is definitely there. Like you need obviously look you need that trust, and as I said, no, I don't think any intercounty hurler is going to pull out of a training because like it's such a competitive sport, and you're always in competition with someone, and
yeah,
obviously you're in competition with yourself. So I don't think any lad I wouldn't be able to personally be able to go home and live with myself if I just pulled out of something for the sake of it, like because I'd be kicking myself about it because I want to be. I suppose every person wants to be the best in that position or in the best in what to do, be it work, be it sport, no matter what it is aspect in life. So yeah, absolutely, it's definitely down to that trust.
perfect, perfect. And then look, like you already touching it there when the final and getting over the hurdle. You could see in the one or two interviews after the game in 2019 that the emotion was there. And do you feel that the setbacks, you know, were kind of.
I'm just reading something there. Was there any truth to the rumours that you had COVID? No, I didn't have the virus, no. So I don't know what Egypt put out that rumour, but I wouldn't believe everything you hear.
But do you feel that, you know, the setbacks were kind of, you know, not were, you know, we say winning the All Ireland 2019, that the emotion that came out in that interview, that those setbacks did drive you on, and I know you did kind of touch on that, but do you feel like you achieved something then, and it was worth going through all those difficult times? And not that you meant to go through those difficult times, but it happened, but you know exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, sure, look, you definitely learn, as I said earlier on, you learn from life experience. So I would have learned, I learned a lot from it, I suppose, from mental side of things. And I suppose I do maybe, they definitely contribute maybe to get me back on the tip panel and things like that. And probably added a bit more drive to me. So like, I think I feel like I'm hungrier now, kind of more than ever. Like, so but I don't know, can I say I wasn't hungry or anything like that, but obviously I think to do definitely, I'd rather them setbacks not happen, but look, that's
Yeah,
life. Look,
that's
everyone
life.
gets setbacks, just take it, like, you know, take it on the chin and drive on, really. Just try and make the best out of every situation. No matter what you do, you'll have naysayers, you'll have someone, like, I don't know what it is in Ireland, like, we love to see lads come down, like, we don't like
Yeah,
pushing them up so far. So look, just get on with it, really. Like, there's nothing you can do. There's plenty of great, surround yourself with positive people. There's plenty of fantastic people around, be it your family, your club, your intercounty scene, your friends. So there's loads of people you can bounce ideas or chat to. So like, that's all I'd say on that regards.
perfect. And we say, I suppose, again, you're probably sick of talking about this, but that incident in the final, you know, these things happen again, and a lot was probably made out of it. Like, you know, it's part of
Yeah,
it, to be honest.
look, it's part and parcel of sport. Like, look, as I addressed it, when I addressed it at the time, I said I wouldn't have liked to see Richie sent off. Still wouldn't have. I regard Richie as one of the greatest hurlers come out of Kilkenny. I pride myself on marking the top best county players. So I'd rather have played the 70 minutes against him, and it would have been a right little battle. But look, the referee made the decision. I had to get assessed by the doctor. That type of thing. There's
Yeah.
not really more saying it, you know yourself.
Perfect. And do what we say, you know, looking at back through your career, and like you mentioned it when you kind of started off with, you know, in the Dr. Hartley, that what is your favorite position? You seem to be going from corner forward to corner back to midfield, or
Mm.
you seem to be the type of lad
Um,
that anywhere.
my favorite position is probably number six. Definitely. I think I just love playing centre back. But look, if I had to play corner forward to be given a Tipperary jersey, I wouldn't phase me. I'd play it, whether it go well or not. Look, I just do my all in that position, like so. But definitely centre back would probably be my favourite position. No, I love the corner as well. It's completely different, and it's so different now to what it was. Like when I first started, it would have been more kind of ball would have been lumped, and it was just you in the corner, you and your man, and see whoever gets it. But um, I suppose now it's kind of all the balls are diagonal into space. Lads are so cute and fast now. It's completely different. But look, I love, as I said earlier on, I love those challenges.
Yeah, yeah, I love
But
that. And I
definitely
suppose, what are you going to say?
number six is definitely my favorite position.
Perfect. And we say, you know, looking back over your career, who had been your biggest influence on your sporting career?
I suppose your family would have been really like I wouldn't. I suppose your mother and father kind of giving it early at whatever age, 2 or 3 years of age, and then they bringing you down to your local club. So I suppose it would have been a couple. Mainly my family would have been the biggest influence. But then I suppose I was lucky. My primary school, the principal at the time, Timmy Delaney, was a hurling madman. So hurling was driven into school. I was lucky then to go into hurling CBS, another hurling really emphatic hurling school inside there. So I suppose I was lucky everywhere I turned there was hurling, and my club, like John Niall from Holy Cross, won 8 All Ireland medals. So you couldn't but, I suppose, want to play hurling and want to kind of reach those type things.
And who, like, suppose when you're growing up, who did you always look up to as?
Yeah. So when I was younger, I would have pucked the ball out as Brendan Cummins. I would have caught it as Tommy Dunn. I would score the goal as Owen Kelly. So that kind of would have been three, or else John Leahy. John Leahy would have been, I would have been a big fan of John Leahy as well. So though I suppose really it would have been Tommy Dunn, Owen Kelly, and John Leahy, and then from Tipperary, and then as I got older, I did Tommy Walsh from Kilkenny. I would have really admired Tommy Walsh, so I thought he was a phenomenal player. Like. So they
And
would have been.
I suppose just touching on that comment actually there, who would have been the toughest forward to mark nowadays we say in the intercounty scene and then in the club scene?
The toughest player to mark, I suppose. In fairness, Henry Shefflin was a really tough player to mark, and Henry Shefflin is Henry Shefflin. Like
Yeah.
there's not much you couldn't say about him. Hoggy is a phenomenal hurler as well, and the figure he's getting better as he gets older. Like there's no stopping him. Like he's getting better every year. So those two boys would be tough. Well, yeah, I think those two boys are probably. I think they were really at the peak of their powers. Those type of lads. In the club scene.
Put you on the
Hard to
spot.
know. Yeah, I don't know about the club scene. All depends who you're playing really. At different club players, you could find yourself being marked at centre back. Nolly be very tough. Noel McGrath be very tough in fairness to mark club scene. Like you could be jumping on Noel's back for the day, but he still might sneak 2 or 3 pints and play out of absolutely nowhere. Like so lads like that, yeah. Nolly would probably be one of the toughest, or John McGrath would be a nightmare as well. No matter what, I'd say if you marked him in soccer or polo or something, he'd still be a thorn in our side, like.
And I suppose, look, you're still young, you know, but what advice?
You said I was old.
You're throwing me under the bus here now. What advice would you give to kids who say starting out now and looking up, watching Tipperary and watching, who want to be the next Cathal Barrett or who wants to be the next John McGrath or Noel McGrath? What advice would you give to a younger you?
A younger me, I suppose, to don't be if you're really young, don't be fixated on one position. Like if you like, because I started in the forwards and I ended up back in the backs. So play, like if you get the opportunity, play in every position. I wouldn't say the goals. I wouldn't play in goal anyway. I don't know how goalies play in goal. There's no way in hell I'd stay in front of some of those shots. But definitely play every position you can possibly play, because like when you're young, you really enjoy it when you're young, and like sport and hurling is unbelievable to get down and meeting people and get to have the crack with the lads and your schoolmates and be able to go back to your club, I suppose, and win kind of things with people you grow up with. So I definitely say kind of embrace every single position, try every position. You wouldn't know which is your best until you actually try it. Because I remember when I was younger, like when I was first put into the backs, I think it was a minor club game. I don't know what it was, I suppose I was 15 or 16, and I remember I was handed a jersey for wing back, and it was Phil Dwyer. I actually laughed at him and said, "Why you give me this? I don't play in the backside." And he said, "You'll be fine, throw it on." Like, and ever since that day, I have played in the backside.
Jesus.
So like, it was something like that. I never actually asked him to this day. I must ask him. He's a Holy Cross man, obviously. I must ask him how he decided to put me into the backs, whether he was just getting me out of the forwards or what. I don't know, but so I'd embrace every position and pick a player you like and try learn as much as you can from everyone. Don't take it massively serious until you really decide whether you want to kind of pursue a career. Like there's plenty of people that get bogged down. They try to reach a certain standard, and if they can't get there, they just give it up. Never give it up. Like enjoy it as much as you can. Like it's all about enjoyment. And if you're lucky enough to have a bit of success, absolutely brilliant. Just surround yourself with the right people that will aid your success. Don't surround yourself with people that are going to take it away, take from it. Like, you know.
Yeah, very good point. Very good point. And I would say, how important would you, again, that kind of leads on to what I'm actually going to ask now. How important would you feel that team morale and positive team culture is in any team, regardless whether it's under 14, under 8, all the way up to intercounty? What would you feel about that?
Yeah, look, it'd be massive. Like team morale is massive, and like it only takes something small to really upset a team and to completely rot the whole thing. But if you have 35, 40 lads on a panel that really, whether they don't, some lads might not like each other or not, but if they really respect each other, it goes an awful long way, because you will like you will go for that ball, and you will try. You will like if the wing forward breaks through, like you're not going to just leave him off because that's not my man. You will try your best to stop him scoring the point. Like you won't let your teammates down. Like you'll go into the trenches with him. You'll go through the muck and the crap weather and things like that for him. So I think it's massive, because you want you want to be able to go into battle and have the right men with you. And if you know that the lads going in with you are going to do what they can for the team, it makes it an awful lot easier. It's one less thing to worry about. Like, so morale, I would think morale is a really, really big thing in team sports. And then you're lucky you have the camaraderie. You might lose, but at least you're not on your own losing. You're losing as a team, so you can go deal with it as a team. You can bounce ideas off lads. So it's really, really big. It's really a big a thing, I think. Yeah.
Perfect. And I suppose, look, we'll wrap it up, because I know you're busy, and you have to come back from a run, so you probably have to do a few stretches and whatnot. What's your favourite dish to cook up?
I love Italian food, and absolutely anything. I'd put garlic bread with anything. I love garlic bread, so I suppose any sort of Italian dish. Like I love chicken arrabbiata or things like that, or stir fry. They'd be definitely my favorite go to food by a mile. Yeah.
Perfect.
Garlic bread with everything.
Perfect. Look, Cathal, thanks very much for taking time out and having a chat with me. I appreciate it, and I hope you'll get through the next couple of weeks, or however long this will go on for.
Yeah, I see Ross King there. Kingers. Do you know Ross King Elise, Jamie? He'd take the milk out of your tea, that lad.
Oh,
he would, yeah. He was with me in America, so he better keep quiet. I can tell a few stories about him.
Oh, there'll be war here, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's the crack.
Perfect. Look, I'll wrap it up there before things kick off. Look, thanks very much again, Cathal. I appreciate it, and look, best of luck with this year or next year when everything's going to get going again.
No bother at all. My pleasure, Jamie. Sound as well.
Perfect. Thanks.
Take it easy.
Mind
yourself. Bye.